Combining rational trigonometric expressions. Remember that rational is just another word for fractional. That is, you have an expression being divided by another expression. In this case, we're going to be combining, so what we need to do is first find our least common denominator. The easiest way to find the least common denominator is to simply multiply your two denominators, making sure that you do not have repeating factors. Now, from this expression, I have sine of theta being divided by 1 plus cosine of theta. Now, since the denominator that I'm looking for, the least common denominator, is 1 plus cosine times sine, the denominator I need to multiply by sine of theta. I also have to multiply the numerator by sine of theta. That way you can see that this expression is equal to 1. I'm not changing my original problem. This fraction over here, I have cosine of theta being divided by sine of theta. The denominator that I'm looking for is 1 plus cosine of theta times sine of theta. Sine of theta is already there, so now I have to multiply by 1 plus cosine of theta. Multiply the numerator as well. That way I do not change my original fraction. Again, this is still 1. 1 times this expression, rational expression, gives me the original expression. And that is what I'm looking for, not to change my problem. Let's go ahead and simplify this. This is sine squared theta over 1 plus cosine of theta times sine of theta. Multiply, I'm going to go ahead and distribute cosine of theta plus cosine squared of theta over the same denominator. Rearranging it so that it looks like this one, commutative property of multiplication. Now that they have the same denominator, go ahead and combine them. Leave the least common denominator, one denominator. Perform the operation to the numerators. Again, this is addition. I'm going to go ahead and rearrange these. Cosine squared theta plus cosine theta. Again, commutative property of addition. The reason I want to go ahead and rearrange those, I should note, or you should note, that this cosine squared or sine squared plus cosine squared is an identity, Pythagorean identity, that tells us that that is equal to 1. That way I can further simplify this as 1 plus cosine of theta is my numerator. Still have 1 plus cosine of theta being multiplied by sine of theta. Again, note that you have numerator expression and a denominator expression equivalent. They will divide out to 1, and I'll be left with sine stays in the new denominator, 1 in the top. 1 over sine is cosecant of theta.